Okay, so it's the day. It's the day that you get an ebook. This ebook is all about college success, and the success I want you to find is your purpose. College is a great platform for you to be able to find your purpose. It's a blank canvas, honestly. When you think about your major, when you think about all the clubs and organizations that you could join, I think that what you do outside of class really develops your character, it develops your purpose, it develops your identity, it develops so much about you and who you are. If you are actually putting in that work to develop yourself, if you're joining clubs, if you're joining organizations, if you're volunteering, if you're making sure that you're rising to leadership in those clubs and organizations, if you're partnering with professors to do additional research, if you are actually making sure that you're going above and beyond to go to more than just class and going home to get the full experience in college. People don't get instructions. There's no handbook, there's no blueprint to tell you what to do in college and how to make the most of it, unless you're going to Amazon and you're looking up Conquer College, which is a book that I've written, which is the blueprint for how to maximize your experience in college outside of just going to class and going home. It's the only book that really exists that's of that kind, and I decided to just break it down into like some simple ebooks. So this is the first ebook that really talks about your purpose and why college is important, why you should be going to college, and why you should have an intentional experience going in looking for your purpose. So in this ebook, we're really breaking down 6 different things. This is breaking down how you can find your purpose, the power of self, so which I've talked about a lot and plenty of times on all my videos, being intentional with your community service, being intentional with getting references, being intentional with getting the most out of college, and understand all of these things that you're doing make you a better scholarship recipient, make you a better scholarship applicant, allow you to be able to increase the amount of financial abundance you have supporting your college dreams, which is just fully preparing you for your overall professional success. The ability to be able to go above and beyond and do more than just go to work and go home allows you to understand what it's like to create a full life of holistic development in mind, allowing you to develop the character that people are attracted to, allowing you to be the leader that people can genuinely follow, not because you have a title, not because you've been assigned the leader, but instead because you carry traits that make people say, I want to know what you think. I want to hear your feedback. I want to know your thoughts and ideas. I want to know what you're planning to do next, because that might be best for me. That might be insightful for me. And that is a snippet of what we go into the next part, which is the power of education, part 2. The power of self-education is really what I want to dive into, because the power of self-education, right? That's the title of part 2 within this ebook, right? The first is find your purpose. The second is the power of self-education. And the power of self-education is learning yourself, knowing yourself, developing your character, developing your leadership. All of that is incredibly important. And that's where you start to benefit from college. So when we start talking about part 3, which is what are your benefits from college, it's going to be that outside of classroom experience where you really expand your network, because now you're an involved, engaged person. The same way that you're talking about and being involved and engaged in the community, involved and engaged in these sports, involved and engaged in your extracurricular activities, these clubs and organizations in high school to be a great scholarship applicant once you get to college. Those same things, when you double down in college, make you a scholarship applicant that's above and beyond. We already know the 3 different types of applicants that we love to see when it comes to scholarships, right? This first one will be that Mr. 4.0 that has everything perfect. The second is going to be Miss 3.5 with leadership. And the third is going to be Mr. and Mrs. Resilient, the ones who have overcome so many different challenges in their life that we're just impressed that you are actually consistently pushing on and persevering in your educational experience. And doing that in college, you're now developing a character that goes with you for decades beyond your actual graduation date. And that is the benefit of college. And I get more into detail with that in the ebook. And then part 4 in the ebook, I'm talking about how do you apply college to real life. I just kind of talked about that, and I go further in depth so you have something that you can read and refer back to. Part 5 is like, what lessons will you learn in college? And I'm not talking about your math lessons. I'm not talking about your science lessons, We're not over here looking at the different lessons that you may even learn from history and English, which have great context and definitely are important. And I'm not devaluing the academic component of college, but what's not talked about is all of this additional experience and value that college brings outside of the classroom. So the lessons that you learn from being a leader are impactful. What it's like to fail, and not only fail yourself, but fail the group, and then have to come back and then actually succeed, not only for yourself, but to succeed for the group. Do you know what it feels like to succeed at a club event for your club and your organization by hosting an event and it goes well? People show up, people talk about taking value, they do a survey for you and you're getting 4 and 5 stars. People can only talk about when's the next one. They're asking you the next day when you're walking around campus, yo, that was fire, when's the next one? Like, you know how that feels to make an impact that people start looking forward to? Life changing. You start to see life differently because now you know what you think. And the collaboration that you create and organize amongst others in your group, your organization, your fraternity, your sorority, like it is phenomenal. And I went to UCLA. We had over 500 clubs on campus. You have an immense opportunity to do so. There are dance clubs that have a dance performance every single quarter, every single semester at schools, and people are looking forward to it. It's the first date for a lot of couples. It's the amazing experience where people are bringing flowers at the end of it. People invite their parents to pull up and see their performance at the end of the semester. People come back as alumni that weren't even a part of the dance club when they were in undergrad, and they'll come back and see that experience and performance. People bring up their high school students so they can see what the college level dancers are doing. People say, this is our date night and we're 50 years old. We're going to go see the college students dance and we're going to pay for the $20 or $30 or $40 ticket in the school theater. That's the level of impact that you can have. One that allows people to come back and have pure joy and entertainment, one that can be an intellectual advancement of that person, one that cultivates their character, one that cultivates their leadership, one that cultivates their community impact, and then have these community conversations and discussions about current politics or money or life or success or purpose or like the list goes on. And you can be a person, an agent of change that empowers somebody to be able to do that. That will cultivate a spirit in you that will have you going and living on fire for the next decade of your life. I promise you, on everything I love, this is how people have a life worth living. This is how people are excited and so enthusiastic about what they're doing. This is why people will get to a job that feels like they're just in the mailroom and say, no, I'm worth more. I have a purpose that goes beyond this, and I'm going to make sure my burning desire gets actualized in real life. And then you're not going to be sitting there in a job that you hate for 20 years. You're going to sit there for a year at most and say, I'm out. I'm going to find a way. I'm not telling you to just quit. I'm telling you to find another job to replace it. But, you're not going to sit and do something that you just completely hate and can't see the purpose of how it adds value to your life in the next short term or long term of your plans. And being able to practice this in college allows you to actualize it in your real life, because life has no practice, technically. There's no practice in life. It's all performance. It's all real deal. Holyfield, bite the ear. Mike Tyson, knock him out. You're going to feel it. You can have a plan until you get punched in the face. But wouldn't it be better if you're the one punching? The way you start punching life and making sure you're just not a recipient of all the negativity, is start punching out positivity by making sure that you are the change agent you wish to see in the world, you wish to see on campus, you wish to see in your house and your family. Be the difference maker, and then write it down for an essay, for a scholarship with 500 words so you can get $5,000. That's the game. Scholarships should be a reflection of how awesome you already are. So you can do one of two things. You can make yourself awesome for the application so you can get the money, or you can just be awesome and then write it down so other people know what's going on, because we just don't know what you've been doing and what you have going on. And then I finish this with part 6 by giving you 6 scholarships that you can apply to, because you know I'm going to always give you a chance to increase your scholarship and your abundance. Peace and Afro Grease, man. It's Professor Miles. Go to professormiles.gumroad.com and go ahead and acquire this ebook for college success #1.